want it there?
Well, I'm just trying to.
That'll work. That'll be good.
Cool. All right.
Well, that wasn't good.
We're so close. We're so close.
He's not breathing.
Oh god. Gentlemen.
All right. Now we just don't change anything for an hour. And we're
No,
gonna
we
be
just
okay.
don't change anything for an hour.
So help me God, if anybody changes anything.
If one mic unplugs, if the lights shut off,
There's an earthquake.
Yeah. Because it's already gone. Bless you.
Keeping you on your goddamn toes.
I'm sorry. It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad. We've been setting up for about 2 hours now.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
After driving an hour and having to switch hotel rooms and move all our shit.
Oh yeah, what was up with that? You said we had to switch. There was a problem. We had to switch hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Well, there was like a nail sticking out of the shower.
Yeah, man.
Like right in the center of the drain. So that was a big problem for me. And then, 2 big grown men and a low flushing toilet didn't really work out for us.
All right,
Oh, so
let's
the
talk
problem-
about that.
okay.
The
That's
air
why we came
condition
a little
was
bit
boo-boo.
later, because I was taking a shit and get that off my chest, and I'm proud of it.
You should get it off. Yeah, you should get that shit off your chest.
Before I dry up any more vaginas.
Let's talk about my shit.
Yeah,
Since the Sahara.
dude, it's the plumbing was horrible. And, and I will easily claim responsibility if I did clog that toilet, but that thing was not sucking up anything. And so that on top of, I don't even want to get into it, man. We just had to switch hotel rooms. And today's been a pain.
Did they have another? I would assume that the toilets from hotel rooms, between hotel rooms, are standardized. Was it like, okay, we'll get you to the good toilet suite?
I don't know. You know what?
Here's the pool.
When I was walking back up the stairs to go to the new room, my intention was to test the toilet.
Yeah.
Right, just to make sure everything's working and check out the shower. But we didn't. We just moved all of our stuff
You've
in there
been
and then
burned
left
once,
immediately.
man.
Yeah.
dude.
Fool me once,
Literally, it was the hotel room next door. So we just had to pick up our stuff.
Hey, we've done that.
What?
Remember when we lived next door?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, you guys. Okay, let's start off this episode the right way.
Okay.
Baddies,
welcome.
that's our listener base. Welcome to another episode of ICBTB's
highly
Highly
irrelevant.
Irrelevant. We are not in the Bay Area. We are not in the studio. We are not in the room that you usually see us if you're watching this on YouTube. We are all the way in Los Angeles. We packed our shit up and we wanted to go visit some near and dear friends that we haven't seen in a long time.
I just met them today.
You just met these guys.
Hello.
So
Hi, Alex.
Hi,
we
David.
have on the podcast today Travis Reaves-Butterfield and David Michmerhuizen.
Wow.
2 people with names that have so many fucking syllables.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. I just want to preface with the listeners out there that I know you guys through improv. You guys were on Dragon Viper Cobra. David, you weren't on Dragon Viper Cobra at the same time as me.
Not the same time as you. I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, I think the last time I physically saw you
Okay.
was 2013.
Wow.
I think so. I think you guys were still doing shows at Under the Sun.
Yeah. Well.
That makes sense. Oh, no. We talked about this.
We did. We did.
We all caught up at Boba Shop in the Bay Area, Milk Tea Lab, and we were just playing games there.
Oh yeah.
Remember the time we played the
Yeah.
Postman on the Head
I
game?
remember that. It was a good
Facebook
time.
reminds me of that all the time.
Gaios. That was it's next to Gaios.
Why was that the only memory that Facebook shoves in our face?
It just is convinced that's the peak for me so far. Which, I mean, it was good. I had a great time.
There's something kind of galling about a social media site telling you like what an important memory is, but also as galling is not really having a strong counter argument.
Damn.
So, how long have you guys lived in LA now?
5 years.
Fuck.
Sorry, I had to say it.
It's okay. I moved down Labor Day 2017.
Oh, you remember the exact day?
Yeah, it was like
Well, it's a holiday. Yeah.
Well, because I decided to move down on that Monday just due to my schedule and forgot what it means when you have a 3-day weekend and you tried it took me 9 hours to get here. from the Bay Area.
Really?
Yeah, because there were so many people driving.
Traffic. Everyone's
It was
coming
Labor
home.
Day. And then as soon as I got here, it was fucking not literally this place, but it was wildfire season, and the sky was black. And I had all my shit in my Toyota RAV4, and I roll up to the house next door, and David and Chad are there because David moved down a few days before I did, and the sky is black, the air is acrid, and I'm like, what did I just do? What did I?
Because it looked like it was a bad omen.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
An ominous setting for like a big chapter in your life, right?
Absolutely.
In the 3 times it's happened since then, we've learned not to panic. It's just
Yeah.
The sky was like pearl those last series of fires, and it was like red in SF, right?
Yeah, we had some red skies.
that was
Yeah, dude, it was
weird.
weird, man. It looked like it was going to be the end of the world. And this was like before COVID, man. So many different, I don't know. Life is weird.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys, I do want to do a deep dive of like your guys' improv history, because like that is something that connects us all. Because I don't really know, I don't know you guys that much as we know each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, David, you are one of the most mysterious men that I've ever met. That's about as enthusiastic as I've ever seen you.
He's got an Android phone.
Do you? Fucking up every group chat.
And
Yeah,
he doesn't
man.
check his Facebook.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
The Android phone, though, I will.
And he
question.
doesn't have a Twitter.
That's okay too.
All right, well, never mind. This game's over.
Describe yourself to us and like the listeners, man, because I really don't know you.
Yeah, man. I did improv in the Bay. It was a good time. I've been doing improv since I was a little kid. And then I was like, hey, there's this like improv school. Actually, I didn't say this. Travis said this to me. He's like, hey, there's this improv school in Los Angeles called Upright Citizens Brigade. And we should move to Los Angeles and we should go take classes there. And I took one class there. And then like a couple years later, they were out of business and they're just gone.
Well, you taken just one class during the time span that you lived here?
Yeah, I only took one. I took like the introduction to improv course.
And you were just like, I'm over it, and you didn't want to do it anymore?
No, I was just working a lot.
You got really busy.
Yeah, I got promoted at my work, so I went from working part-time to full-time, and it was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life.
Of course.
So much, lack of time to do anything else?
Yeah, it's stressful. That's why I retired early. I took part in the Great Resignation at the 11th hour of COVID, just like everybody else did. So now I'm riding the Great Resignation wave. It's a pretty cool time.
See, that's what I was wondering, because I was texting Travis prior to like coming up here, and I was asking what your guys' schedules were. He says, I'm off at 3 every weekday, and that makes sense for like a normal human. And he just says, and David's retired. And I was like, that's a funny joke. Maybe I'm just reading this wrong because, sarcasm.
Yeah.
And then I asked him again a few days later. I was just like,
Same answer.
What's his schedule? Nothing. David's retired. And I was like, is he really retired? And you said, that's what David tells me. And now I'm finally getting the truth.
Yeah.
You've been getting the truth the whole time, actually.
Yeah, man. But also, I'm a gullible motherfucker. And so, I mean, especially through text where there's no physical cues that I could really study to see if someone's lying to me.
Yeah.
That made it difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
As much as I know Travis and I, we get along very well. We compliment each other. You literally hugged me when I came to your front doorstep, and you said it was like hugging two huge rocks.
Just several rocks. A rock face.
a big bag of rocks.
But like a range,
You rocked his world.
Yeah.
Organized in such a way that I am what I am now.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Big bag of rocks.
You've always been like a rocky kind of guy.
Oh, thank you very much.
We're so sweet, but like you and I, David and I, we have a chemistry.
Bitter enemies.
We have like, I don't know. This is like, it's like a weird tension that I kind of like.
Okay.
That's not sexual.
Let's roll with that. Okay.
Yeah?
I'm liking what I'm hearing.
See right here, I don't know. Like when I say words to a person, they receive it, and like it looks like it's like when I'm talking to Travis right now, he's smiling. This is a pleasant interaction.
Okay.
I face you.
All right.
You're fondling your facial hair.
I am, yeah.
And like eye contact doesn't stay for more than a millisecond.
No.
And like it's.
I also don't have my contact lenses in that.
So we're just blurry to you.
Yeah, that's another thing that's going on. I should have maybe mentioned that. I don't know. I haven't worn them
happened
today.
to your contact lenses?
I had a headache.
Oh, that's why you didn't sleep. Oh.
Yeah. I had to take a nap today. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
You had a busy day though. We don't want to. Yeah.
Busy is not the word that I would use.
We walked in. You're on the couch. You say, "I haven't seen you in 9 years." You say, "What's up, man? We're doing this." You're
So unenthused. Yeah.
less enthused by the podcast, more enthused by the reality show that you were watching on the couch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like.
What did you start again today? What's that show?
So right now we were watching 90 Day Fiancé.
Of course.
First of all.
Okay.
It's a great show.
Good choice.
Watching the tell-all. And then they mentioned, this is a really expert plug, they plugged this new Discovery Channel show. And if you don't have Discovery Plus, you should get it.
For this reason.
For this
plug,
reason.
yeah.
They have this one called Married by Mom and Dad.
That's what it said.
Yeah, Married by Mom and Dad.
When I walked in, you paused and you could see the title. And what I saw immediately was, I married my mom and dad.
Right, that's what I thought it was too.
So what were your thoughts initially? Like, what kind of show is this?
I figured it would deliver on the premise, not gonna lie.
Very new. It's that new concept. Yeah.
Throughout the pandemic here, we have seen some truly heinous shit on the television.
Oh yeah, TLC, Discovery Channel,
Very nice.
just the news. It's just
Darman,
A
lot of Darman.
What is Darman?
Oh fuck.
Darman's a motivational video series where they do little sketches.
Is this supposed to be
Sounds
funny?
palatable.
Funny?
Yeah.
It's not funny. I mean, so it's not supposed to be funny, but
it
it's
is.
so after. It's like it's our modern equivalent of an after-school special. So it's corny.
Okay.
And if you're into watching the corny stuff, then it scratches that itch pretty bad.
But the videos, without fail, do absolutely massive numbers.
oh yeah, that's insane.
Like in the first day, we're talking like a couple million views.
Easy,
Yeah.
a couple million in the first day. They're huge.
They're
And so
gigantic.
people just watch this. Do they make fun of it more so than actually getting
Listen,
motivated?
you read the comments to these videos, and people are 100% earnest.
Yeah.
What?
Talking about like if only everybody paid attention to this kind of lesson, blah blah blah. And
And it's like
Yeah,
lessons
it's a
like
spectacle.
don't be racist.
don't lie about needing to get out of your test. I mean, don't lie about being sick to get out of your test. Don't
Be nice to your parents.
be nice to poor people.
Yeah, like
Or don't assume somebody's poor just because they look like they're poor, because you never know.
and there's
You'll live to regret it. Yeah, dude, Darman.
a guy. It's Darman is a guy.
He's a ganjapreneur.
and he's a failed. Right?
Wait a second. Are these the ones where it's like
Alex knows.
they like act it out, right? And it's
Yeah.
like the lady will come in and there's like a guy cleaning an elevator or something like that, and she's like really mean to him.
Yep.
That sounds
then-
quintessential.
and then it,
Darman.
like,
Bad wigs.
Comes
Oh,
back
yeah.
around at the end and like, oh, that guy who was cleaning is your uncle or
Here's
something
the
like
thing,
that.
Alex.
Exactly.
Is it
Yes.
100% closed caption with no option to
Yes,
turn off
yeah,
the closed
yeah.
caption? Yeah, that's
Oh, I
Darman.
totally know this. Holy shit.
You said there's no options to turn off closed.
No, it's
Fun
just
fact.
built-in closed captioning.
That guy, prior to making motivational videos for YouTube,
Oakland's most wanted man.
defrauded the city of Oakland to the tune of like $24,000 in a failed.
This man's my hero.
weed
Oh yeah,
business.
Darman.
Darman, terrifying but
Terrifying
powerful.
man. So yeah,
That's my hero now. I have a new hero.
This sounds like you guys just made this man
No,
up.
Alex
No,
Alex
I-
is here. Alex knows what
I
we're
have
talking about.
merch.
We
There's
have-
Darman merch.
We've got Darman merch. We got shirts. We haven't all. We
You
haven't.
guys are real fans.
I
we
didn't
haven't
know
ever
that.
all worn the same shirts at the same
That was a
time.
real dark time.
It'd be really cute if you guys
It
did
was a
one.
dar time.
Now I see why you hang out with these guys.
yeah, I mean, I don't really hang out with these guys. I haven't seen them in 9 years.
It's been 9 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 5. We just established that ish.
I will say
Well, since I've seen this individual.
yeah,
Oh, that's what it's been.
Yeah,
because of the
From
milk
Bubba,
lab thing.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
right before we
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah.
Right before.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say it was really interesting when we first got here.
Yes.
Christian didn't want to knock on the door because he doesn't like knocking on doors.
Okay,
And I was like, well, we'll just knock on the door. And so I knocked on the door, and David, you answered the door and looked at me like you would a stranger knocking on your door and not expecting
Especially
it.
with my contact lenses. Now.
Yeah. And I think I was like, oh, I'm here with Christian.
Also, when you opened the door, I wasn't standing next to Alex.
No, he
I
was kind of like off to
you
the
just left
side.
him.
I was
Yeah.
I was
He
behind
was already
Alex.
running back to the car because he doesn't like knocking on doors
Well, you
that
know,
much.
I'm just prepared just in case it's not the right house. However,
Oh.
99% sure it was your house because of the Guitar Hero guitar on the limb of a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting. Is that usually like a?
It scares away pests.
Just like, oh god, like party animals in here.
Yeah, no, it's like a scarecrow. Except
I mean, I don't know. It attracted me. Guitar Hero is by far one of the reasons. No, I'm not going to say that I was a musician, but
you were going to say by far one of the reasons why I'm a musician.
Hey, that launched 1,000 players. That game did a lot.
We were blasting Freebird on the way in, and I can't hear that song and not still do the Guitar Hero
See
buttons.
the running track.
Classic.
I would play that on Expert. I mean, like that took up a huge portion of my freshman year, and I thought it was like an attractive trait. I remember there was a very attractive woman that came to a birthday party, and all 5 of us gathered around in front of the.
We're gonna impress this chick.
Yeah, man. Oh, I thought I was like, hey,
want to see me pretend to play the guitar?
through the fire and flames.
Do you like the sound of clicking?
Yeah. And I didn't even do it right. I never did the up strum. I just used my thumb as fast as I could down.
Savage.
Master Puppets, that's pretty fast.
Difficult, yeah. I mean, like, but it's still not efficient.
At our high school, we had 2 friends that could only do that with 2 people. They did Through the Fire and Flames and Expert.
What do you mean with 2 people and 1 guitar?
One person would hold down green.
Whoa, that's innovative.
Yeah.
But if I saw that at a live show, I would be like, get your hand off of that guy's fret.
Wait, if you saw somebody playing Guitar Hero at a live show,
that was the thing.
or
they had
somebody
events. They used to have competitions.
Oh, interesting.
That's something I would do.
I remember when the Guitar Hero showed up like in arcades and stuff, and you're like, oh, this isn't just for at home now.
Yeah.
It's also for
I can now pay
public.
money
Well,
to
it
play
started
this.
in it started in Japanese arcades, kind of like DDR.
That sounds like it.
Those, like I was telling Christian, the Japanese are millions of years ahead of us, and somehow like still 20 years behind us. You guys are talking about shows you guys are really into. I was telling Christian, I've gone into a really deep hole of like 90s Japanese shows.
It is so specific.
Tell me more.
Well, there's one show that I discovered called Sweets or Not Sweets.
Okay.
And they make things look normal: doorknobs, coffee tables, shoes, piggy banks.
Oh, so you're watching live action shit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm into this.
And they have to take like big bites of these things to see if they're real or not. And that's a great show.
So there's 2 dudes like in the middle of them is an assembly belt.
Yeah, it's a conveyor belt.
A conveyor belt.
and 4 objects go by. 3 of them are real. 1 of them's made out of candy. And there'll be categories like things you find in a bedroom or shoes, types of shoes. And so they have the shoes go down the conveyor belt, and you have to hit this button if you think it's sweets or not, and then they put it aside. And at the end of all the things going by, you have to take a big bite out of it.
And you would be surprised. The first thing I saw was a pair of flip-flops that looked like an actual pair of flip-flops, but they looked like cake at the same time. I don't know.
They all, even the real things look vaguely fake.
Yeah.
So it's tough to tell. And then after that show, I discovered a show that they call Celebrity Fit Through the Gap.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Are you familiar with this?
Is the gaps all different kind of shapes and shit?
No, that's what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. They just like walk around downtown and like find gaps in buildings. Nice. And then they have these like 5 people do it. And they're like, one dude is like a 60-year-old yoga master. One is just like a normal girl with really big fake tits. And one's the flat-chested pole dancer. And then the other one's just like a normal dude. And they just try to like fit through these gaps.
Let's get through this gap.
There's 3 levels, and it gets very intense.
They all look very malnourished, and as stupid of a show as this sounds, the stakes are high because their head is getting stuck in between buildings, and they're getting
their shoulders. They're screaming. They're like, my shoulder hurts.
And you win nothing at the end of this.
No, that was the thing. Christian's watching it, and he's like, well, what do they win after this? I was like, I don't think they win anything. And I've never seen Christian so upset in my life. He was physically ill from hearing that news.
I highly recommend this show, though.
But yeah, Celebrity Fit Through a Gap. I can show you guys a little bit later. It's a fun one.
Word.
Yeah, Japan is just like, I would say it's advanced.
And like I said, a million years ahead of us in entertainment, but then also 20 years behind us, because when that girl with the big fake tits came on, the camera was just on her tits. And everybody was talking about her tits and like her nipples rubbing against the walls and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, it's so weird that they're so forward, yet also still somehow a little bit behind us.
It's perverse.
I mean, you have some firsthand experience with their culture in that regard. I'm not sure if you have any, like... I know at least in anime, the big thing is fan service is just a thing.
Well, it's different in different animes. Some animes aren't really into fan service like that. Not everyone is.
You're a big anime guy?
I would say compared to other like big anime people, I'd be like mid-range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, intermediate.
Intermediate would be probably where I would put myself.
He's certainly been the whatever the dude's name was that helps people cross the river Styx. He's that in our house for people in anime.
Oh, really?
I think it's Chiron or something.
Yeah. That's
Where you have to pay the coin.
Yeah.
And then he takes you to
the coin is just pride.
But did he get you on? Did he get you
Dang.
to the dark side of anime?
I mean, the dark side. I don't know if I call it
that
that. 'Cause
hentai?
I got to.
That's like the
That's the
very
dark
end of
side
the
it.
spectrum.
Yeah, I haven't had the balls to sit him down and force feed him hentai. Like we're good friends, but
Not that
I
good.
show
We gotta
Christian
hit
porn
20
all the
years.
time.
We're close. Once we hit 20 years, that's the 20-year.
That'll be the
anniversary.
hentai day.
not gonna lie, I probably still won't do it.
That's
20-year
fair.
anniversary is the hentai anniversary.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. Christian,
Okay.
remember
Okay.
that for later.
All right.
I think the secret to a long friendship is you kind of rule out the stuff that neither of you will enjoy, which might seem obvious, but I feel like there's lots of friends out there who do shit that neither of them enjoy.
Yeah.
And then like wonder about why it wasn't a pleasant experience.
It's like our podcast.
We try to bond through it.
Yeah. We're sitting in Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
That's overrated. Rather just do other things separately.
I think the last anime we watched together, I actually don't know what it was.
That's a great question.
Was it like a mainstream anime or something like? Because there are so many out there.
So the most mainstream one, like we were trying to watch Brotherhood, but like there's
Fell
this
off the wagon.
very
As in Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah, we were trying to like this very like specific group, like 3 guys together to watch it, and it's like very hard to corral the correct loadout to watch the show. Same thing with Lane. We were gonna watch Lane, and like it's like artsy, so we try to get Esther involved, but then like there's just no energy behind watching the show. Like in order to kill a 2-season show, in order to kill Brotherhood in particular, which is like more, you have to have like a lot of energy to just kind of bowl through it. I feel like the last one we watched together might have been Goblin Slayer, but I don't
Maybe
know if
there was
that's
this
accurate.
run. We had a real good run.
Yeah.
I think this was when I was retired for that little bit. We
Man, you guys,
did.
2 30-year-olds retired.
Okay, well let's
we gotta get our shit back together,
let's
man.
be honest. Like if you live in a computer simulation, which I think we can all kind of take for granted that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
You can program reality. Okay, like that's
Okay.
just a fact. And the way you do that is with bits, just like with a computer. And if you just have a bit and you don't drop it, you know, it ain't a popularity contest winner, but I mean, that's how you're going to make it. So, you know,
I would venture to say a bit got one man all the way into the White House for a good 4
hey,
years. Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
bits can take you anywhere.
Yeah, bits can take you
His name
anywhere.
was Joe Biden.
I was thinking John F. Kennedy, but okay.
Nice. Yeah. He didn't make it the full 4 years though.
No, should have had a roof on that car.
You know, speaking of bits, when we moved here, the first year we were here, we saw a lot of live comedy, like a lot of sketch shows, variety shows, and all of it's just mind-blowingly fresh and good and fun. But there was a recurring bit where almost every show, "Are you okay?"
I react bigger because it
okay.
scares me. I'm a very jumpy person.
I noticed that.
It's all the
I
Lexapro.
sneezed. I thought you were gonna piss yourself.
Makes sense. It's cool.
Yeah.
Like every show had a point where there would just be the JFK assassination bit,
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It was brought up often.
like a lot.
I speculate that it's because comedically a lot of the people we went and saw had all kind of subconsciously agreed that the embargo on making fun of the Kennedy assassination had expired that particular year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There was also an off the air when that was like produced that year. I think there were at least 2 Kennedy assassination allusions.
That's a favorite of this house too. They
Yeah,
have
that's
some
another
program
one.
The
off
bit
air.
just always comes back.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't go a day without thinking about John F. Kennedy, honestly. It's like,
Oh, okay.
I believe that.
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
that man's poor back. His back was horrible, bro. He had a really bad back. He had like rods in there and shit.
It's something that pops up all the time. Bits in like speaking in comedy.
Like you're still talking about Kennedy.
No, that does come up. But like being an individual, like trying to navigate this world of like, okay, comedy's like timing, and it's time and place to perform a bit or to have a bit. But if you're meeting someone for the first time and they're not like a comedic person or they're just extremely literal,
It's the best time to do bits.
then you can't even continue it. You're just
I mean, you're on your own, but it's fun. I can tell
it's
you.
a test of your like I would say not dedication, but like your inner fulfillment at the prospect.
yeah.
I feel like
I like that.
I he's kind of polarizing, but I really like Norm Macdonald kind of for that reason.
Yeah.
And so like if Norm Macdonald ran into somebody who was just like one of the 30% of the population that has no sense of humor, it wouldn't stop him. You know?
No, he'd just keep going.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what he wants.
He would capitalize on that person.
Gold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's more fun than a crowd of people laughing at you. It's.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It becomes dangerous when, like, let's say, 3 of us in this room, if we were just like in on a bit, and the other person's just a very literal person, it is so isolating for that individual. And they just think the other people are crazy.
It's like a designated driver.
Yeah.
It's like fun. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting. Be it now that we're back in the world a little bit throughout the real lockdown period of COVID, I feel like all of us, especially people that were like comedy adjacent people, developed these really, really deep, detailed, rooted bits.
Yeah.
That then when we were releasing to the wild again, we would just say shit and nobody would know what the fuck we were talking about.
No one knows, dude.
I call those level 6 or 7 bits. I always talk about all the time. Where like it's a level 6 or 7 joke.
So you have a quantification system in place.
Yeah, like it takes like if you want, you'll laugh if you like have read this book and understand this movie, and then you'll understand why I'm making fun of Joe
And then
Pesci.
if you sit down and think about it a little bit longer, and then you'll laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes,
sometimes you don't laugh, and you know what? That's life.
Can I ask you like what the maximum level is? Is it 10 or is it like a hierarchy where it
Have we not
gets
found it yet?
10 times more difficult to?
You know what?
get
I think it depends. Yeah, I haven't gotten there. The furthest I've gotten to is maybe like a 7 or 8 joke.
Yeah.
Because I'm like into conspiracies.
Do you have it
and
on
stuff
speed
like
dial?
that.
I would love to hear it and not understand it.
oh, like a specific
It'll come up.
example?
Honestly, it'll come up as we just talk. I'll say something and it won't make any sense to anybody. But for me, that's like the fifth part of that joke in my head, and it's just like, green aliens, right? And people are like, oh.
I think it's doing improv. When we were doing improv together, that puts you in this fucking realm of
possibilities
of like comedy and communication that doesn't exist out of that space. And something like as wacky as being an improviser with other people, like all you talk about is bits. Is like, and then until after an improv practice and you guys have like dinner afterwards, that's like when we could be a little more grounded. But
the bits still happen.
They still happen. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, you guys been doing improv since you guys were kids?
Yes, for him. He was the reason I got into improv in the first place because he was on the team at our high school.
Los Lomas.
Los Lomas High, yeah. Mr. Pooty and the Bad Mama Jammas.
Nice.
I maintain that was the name of that improv team, even though we weren't allowed to have that name.
Because you guys were just
great
what,
name.
like was there just one team? Because like at our high school, they made it like a sports team where there was a varsity and JV.
No. The improv team was really a labor of love by a bunch of drama kids that I invited myself into.
They're like, well, he
showed
tall,
up one
so
day.
he must be.
Yeah.
Well, you guys didn't have to audition for the improv team? You guys just kind of like made it and ran with it?
Yeah, and in my high school, one guy, Michael Sorella, if he's listening, I don't know. But
I'll send it
I can
directly to
guarantee
him.
he is.
hey, Michael Sorella, it's David, remember me? So anyway...
So wearing those rugby shirts?
Yeah, so
He just woke up from a coma.
these folks in our high school, labor of love, put together an improv team and did shows. Los Lomas has this like ridiculously over-the-top theater for a high school. And like our theater teachers were never really that hard-nosed about like letting us do stuff there after hours as long as there was like a teacher or a faculty advisor present. So they would arrange these big ornate improv shows, and we also would have our friends, because we're all friends, with people in like the jazz band, and the jazz band got to come out and play like funk music that they wouldn't have otherwise, I guess, been allowed to play in a concert. And so they would play our improv shows sometimes.
What?
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Here's an improv show. Here's a high school improv show, and opening for us is your guys' jazz band.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a completely grassroots effort. Well, I mean,
That's
that,
insane.
and also, well, it was actually, I guess there was some incentive because people who were in the theater tech department would get academic units for teching our shows, so they're fully
Really?
tech shows.
I didn't know that.
So there's benefit from that other than just actually playing
I
it.
think the people who ran the tech for our shows too also got credit for stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
because
Hey, that's cool.
because they have to log hours. So, yeah, that was a good. That was a really good team, but we were not allowed to be called Mr. Pooty and the Bad Mama Jammas.
Why? That's such weird. Like you guys can have a jazz band, but you guys can't name your own team.
No, the name Mr. Pooty according to some people in the faculty, meant vagina.
Oh, pootie.
And
pootie.
this,
Isn't that cootie?
Yeah, I guess so.
Coochie,
And of course, nobody's allowed to speak about vaginas, and we're definitely not allowed to
until the
acknowledge
age of
their
18.
existence. And this is 2009.
Oh, they hadn't even discovered the clitoris in 2009,
No,
right?
it was
Yeah.
me and my team were still hard at work trying to track that one down.
Have you found it yet? Because I can't.
I think
hard
they keep
at
it in their
work.
purse.
And so, yeah, and then it just seemed like pretty logical to keep doing it in college.
Well, that was
when I went to college, like the next year.
I forgot who found the flyer, but outside of the DVC, Diablo Valley College theater space, there was on lined like notebook paper, a Sharpie drawn poster that said improv club meeting like next week. And at this point, because I left school after my sophomore year, so I missed out on a lot of like that fun stuff. Like I would go see the improv shows when I was a sophomore, and I was like, this is going to be so cool. And then I was like, never mind, I'm done. And I just wanted to do it, because I'd done music, and I was always into comedy and stuff, hanging out with like all these guys. But I was like, just that thing, you're like, I want to do that. It looks fun. So I forget who was the impetus for it, but it ended up with a carload of us from Los Lomas went to this very first inaugural meeting of what would eventually become Dragon Viper Cobra.
Oh, shit.
That was Matt Venanzi.
Venanzi and
because
Kyle
Matt
Reed.
Matt Venanzi took up from Michael Sorella after Sorella went to college, and then Venanzi had always been like central to the team, and we actually did a Los Lomas, I think, versus Dragon Viper Cobra type of anthology show at one
That's
point.
right. I did that.
Yeah, so that's basically how the stage got set, and then you just like never stop.
Yeah,
just never stop.
I also met David McEwen that day.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
good
man.
times.
I met so many people through improv that I'm still friends with today. And like the fact that you guys were there like around the time of the birth of Dragon Viper Cobra, I remember like improvising with you and improvising with all these people in college now, because prior to that my experience was high school improv, and you guys know how high school improv can be. It's just loud, explosive, everyone just does fake falls for the laugh and all of that.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
hear though at your guys' school, you got Greg Reasoner would talk about how you guys were infamous for just having standing improv, conversational improv scenes,
100%.
right? That's all it was.
There's
As opposed-
a bunch of kids. I mean, I'm sure this wasn't unique amongst our generation, but there was something coming out of the theater department, I think, that felt so very big and dumb on like a Monty Python level for it. So any movement there was usually something that looked like slapstick, at least from my perspective in the audience. And just that would just become these ideas that would just get out of control.
Crazy.
Just spoken. And what was really wild to me was learning after the fact about how this little walled garden we have of like this fostering arts community thing. And meanwhile, in the rest of the Bay Area, even just in College Park, not but a few miles away from our school, there was like this cutthroat, bloodthirsty improv league of schools that was like vying for a belt or some shit. And we had no idea.
It was a trophy that
the big that's right.
We were
It's a
in
trophy?
There's a legit trophy with engraved names on it and everything, and we had somehow come into ownership.
We
of
ran
it.
into Austin Scott, who was the captain of our
We got it
improv
from
team.
Greg. Greg gave it to us
So that we could give it to
and
Austin
we
Scott.
had it for a long time, and then we gave it to Austin Scott, who
Yeah.
was on the improv team, and now he's on Broadway and stuff like that. So we had given it to him because he was on one of the teams that had won that trophy and stuff like that. And by the time we had gotten there, the league had pretty much dissipated and fizzled out. But yeah, there was an actual trophy and like a thing and rules, and it was really intense.
I just think it's so wild for something like when you think about comedy, improv, and everything's on the spot. Like I love improv because it's something that you don't really have to prepare for. Because I'm probably the most unprepared individual that I know.
I never did homework, not once.
No homework. Maybe just like practicing characters on your own time.
No, I
or
mean
just-
like in school. That's why I left with my sophomore year. I was gonna not graduate. And they were like, "You don't show up and you don't do homework," and I was like, "Yeah." And I've just carried that work ethic throughout my life, and that's why I love improv so much.
Just like,
And look at you now.
all I got to do is show up
Living
and
in a
have
garage.
fun. That's it.
And literally, you just gotta be funny. I can do that.
That's it. That's it. And like how silly, that's like one end of the spectrum like that. It could be so silly and fun, but also people get really serious about it. And then like people, depending on like the type of team that you're on, it could get political because there's hierarchies now and there's dynamics and there's a lot of different things tied into this thing where we're just making imaginary worlds, right?
Yeah.
Imaginary worlds that go away and will potentially never ever come back. Right?
There's something special about that. you know,
in the moment, right? It's like sandcastles.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
right? That was good.
You guys still do some sort of improv nowadays?
You're looking at it.
You're looking at it.
This is what it is.
Just 20-sided stories is the only real outlet I've had lately. It's been like 2 years of like being locked indoors. And then there's also this kind of like voluntary remaining locked indoors that I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah.
It's also important, I think, to get across how far we live from anything improv.
Yeah.
Like, in the context of Los Angeles, you know, from the Bay Area, there's this idea that time and space make a bit of sense. Like you can go somewhere 11 miles away and it'll take maybe 20 minutes at most.
680, 20 minutes. I know exactly where I'll be.
Yeah, I can get to work from, you know, Concord to Lafayette in no time. It's fine.
Yeah.
But here,
nope.
You found out today.
I found out today.
You
I was
found
just
out
like,
today.
hey, we're going to be later than we already were going to.
And I'm like, that's why I wasn't going to drive to Studio City. I didn't want to do that. I
Dude,
did
and
not
it's
want to do
just
that
a
today.
10-minute drive.
No.
Or like 10 miles away.
There is no 10-minute drive.
Yeah, you could watch an entire movie for the amount of time that it took for us to get from our hotel to this house.
I mean, you're down here a lot, you know.
I do know, yeah.
So I feel bad.
I've lived down here. I'm very seasoned to LA traffic. Yeah.
Where'd you live?
I lived in Orange County for a little while. Lived in
Dope.
Irvine and shit like that. And then I was telling Travis here that I was born actually and lived in Pico Rivera for a couple of years and still have family down here and stuff like that. Most of whom will be very mad when they found out I was down here and didn't call any of them.
Oh, nice.
But you know what? They don't call me when they're up in the Bay, which is almost never. So
Hey,
exactly.
there you go, man.
Yeah.
I live it's not important which, but we live next to a fast food restaurant, and if I was to have to use the drive-through window, I would schedule more than 10 minutes to go get through the drive-through.
That's
come
hilarious.
Back home. Yeah.
You would do that.
I was like I'll have this burger, and you know it's too late to go into the restaurant. We got to use the drive-through. I'll be back in like 15, 20 minutes. Just
And I mean, next door
restaurant.
to the degree where from our kitchen, you can look inside the, dining room with this place.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that close?
Yeah.
You can see it from their front window.
Yeah. They're a neighbor.
What an interesting...
Used to be his office.
Used to be my office. Then frickin' COVID, man.
Fuck, dude.
Broke it down.
They still haven't opened the dining area back up yet.
I think they're probably just not gonna.
What even gonna do with the space then?
The lay of the land that I've seen here so far is just too many streetlights. Let's talk about that real quick.
Christian, how would you fix Los Angeles? Tell us.
You're city planner. Day one.
Get rid of half of the people.
Whoa.
Okay.
Thanos style. Just like let's think about who the shittiest people in Los Angeles are, and just make them go away. Less people. It's overpopulated here. Too many cars.
Would that be the first solution or the final solution?
Probably the final solution.
Okay. It 100% is. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like I
Cool,
think
cool,
this conversation is making me work backwards.
No.
No, I just want to hear about it.
Yeah.
What? I'm genuinely curious where it is in his solution package.
Whatever.
Or more people should walk. Is there? That's another solution. There's just too many cars, man.
You can't walk. Things are too far away.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, this city was designed by
Mexicans.
by Ford.
Yeah, no, it's literally Ford and Michelin and shit like that. Like there used to be streetcars and shit, and then they came in and got rid of it because they wanted people to buy tires and gas.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you guys think of other solutions? Because it's obvious that you guys don't want to drive.
Is the answer.
No, okay,
I think you're 100%
let's not use
right.
those. I said Thanos style. They didn't seem like they suffered
still
that
genocide.
much. Sure. Okay. I'm not gonna be the person snapping. I'm just saying. Let's bring up the idea.
I'm just the idea, man.
Yeah. I'm just the ideas guy.
I think it was a tweet that we're all over Thanos jokes at this point, but there was this take that was like, 50% of all life includes like your gut biome. So everybody who survived the snap spent like the next 2 years absolutely sandblasting their walls with diarrhea.
Damn, dude.
It's like, wow.
That's
right. See, now you're thinking about it.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
I think Sasan's take is my favorite take.
about
Sasan
Marvel?
Kasaravi, if you're listening to this, is like
we'll send it to him.
He's the
of
guy I
it.
told you about, the Castaway the musical guy.
the plot.
Oh,
of
that guy, yeah.
The plot of the movie makes no sense because like if you have a glove that can like make half people disappear because you're worried about running out of food, why don't you
double
just
the food.
double food?
Yeah.
It's just like
Right? We got to double the resources.
I literally took a star off of that movie in my rating just because I didn't think about that before.
There are superheroes that exist in that universe, and that wasn't their first solution. Huh?
No, they literally have Smart Hulk, and he didn't even think about doing that.
Yeah, no.
Smart Hulk. Yeah.
So the point of that is search Castaway the musical on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the takeaway from this.
Which is insane. So you guys have a friend that, and I remember when that came out, it entered the ether of my social media.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember seeing it on
great.
like someone's story, if IG stories were even a thing around the time that I saw it, or just saw it somewhere, and I was like, this is the silliest thing that I've ever seen.
So our friend Sasan Kasravi, who is a speech and debate coach at Diablo Valley College, and it's been a friend of ours since middle school, decided to, you got to have him on to tell the whole story. But basically, he ended up because of a bit,
Isn't that how it all
writing and recording a one-man musical adaptation of the Tom Hanks film Castaway based off of his memory of it from seeing it 10 years prior.
So he didn't do any more research.
Not at all.
Get this man a job in Hollywood.
It's beautiful. He also just recently released his first black metal EP, which is
Antimony?
Antimony, I think.
Antimony. Yeah, go on Spotify right now and look up Antimony, Antimony.
Slaps.
Nice plug. What an interesting man to already hear about.
Antimony.
You have an interesting voice.
Thank you.
Like, I was gonna go into this. I was about to talk about Castaway more, but I kind of want to like.
You watched too much Freakazoid growing up.
Yeah.
As we were setting up,
now that I have grown up and I've discovered that it's on HBO, it hasn't helped.
As we were taking 2 hours to set up here, right? All we could hear is our panting and like the droplets of sweat hitting the floor.
I heard that too.
You know,
A very human-sounding cat.
yes, you guys do have
Teddy,
cats here that just speak. That's exactly
That's
how it sounded.
exactly what I heard.
The cat's in the studio.
Yeah.
But other than that, all I could hear is just you speaking, like, you know, in your like lower voice that you kind of have.
Dulcet baritone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it.
The
And then-
musician.
Out of nowhere, you're just like doing impressions outside on the couch. I'm assuming of the reality people in the reality shows that you're watching.
So this is something that Randy Feltface brings up, is that the reason that we watch reality shows about people whose lives have gone completely out of control is because it makes us feel better about ourselves.
Yeah.
And so in the spirit of that, in the bit, I watch shows like people getting married for this reason, people getting married at first sight, people getting married after 90 days, people meeting these people getting into arranged marriages, Mormons, whatever.
I love the descriptions of these shows that everyone knows you're talking about without saying the title.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because the description is the title.
It's a booming market.
It's almost too booming, honestly.
Just add a gimmick to marriage, and you've just got a series.
Isn't marriage already a gimmick?
Hey,
Christian, that's not for you. You're about to get
I'm
married.
engaged now.
All right, so
Everybody needs a first ex-wife. That's for sure. You blame all your problems on her.
and so you do impressions of these people, and it makes you feel better about yourself. Yeah,
Dude, reality TV is therapeutic, man.
oh yeah, once they figured that out. Who needs writers anyway?
Right?
Fuck those guys.
Just put these people in a room, force them to marry each other when they're not right for each other, watch the drama unveil, and then feel better about your actual life.
Powder keg. It's great.
But you're right, the titles for these shows are just like so literal.
Very on the nose.
On the nose, yeah. I mean, and it's similar with, you'll be surprised about like some anime titles, how literal those are. There's I think I might get this wrong, but Hulu keeps trying to shove in my face this specific anime called How to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon.
Oh yeah.
And that is like already too long of a title. You know the title of it, right? You've heard about it.
Hulu's, I don't know if it's proprietary to Hulu, but the Hulu anime selection is actually kind of interesting because they're trying to compete with the actual proprietary anime that Netflix is producing, which, in my opinion, is mostly trash. But there's this great one on Hulu you should watch called Jobless Reincarnation. Okay?
Wait up, let me try to break this down in my head.
Why?
Jobless, like...
I thought we were all just going to get really quiet for a couple minutes and just watch you think.
Wait, break it down
Give
for me,
me
please.
5 to 7 minutes.
I need to think about that title.
Okay, I mean, are you serious? Yeah.
No. Talk to me about the...
So
I'm good.
We'll give you that time if you need.
No, I'm good to know what's a bit.
in the isekai, like, spirit of guy gets reincarnated in an MMO, a high fantasy one, it's a new one, and what this guy does is he is a agoraphobe.
Okay.
He won't leave his room. And then one day he does leave his room and he gets hit by a car and dies. And he reincarnates. He was jobless, okay? But then he reincarnates is a baby being born in a high fantasy setting. But he's still got the mind of a 30-year-old.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
But he's a baby in a high fantasy setting. And it is not a PG anime. I actually wouldn't really assume. Yeah, maybe it's PG-13, maybe it's R, but it's this jobless reincarnation. It's on Hulu, and if you're looking for a high fantasy like real shit anime, that's my recommendation right now. That's the last one I watched by myself.
One season? Just one season?
Yeah, I think it's one season. Right?
Because animes do this thing where it's just like, okay, here's 24 episodes and one season only, and you're never gonna see it again.
Yeah.
Or you could just go like One Piece style and just have 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I have a rule against.
No, you have a commandment.
So I have I have 10. I have 10 commandments, which are commandments for anime, and one of them, if not the first, is like if it's more than 2 seasons, it's not worth it. It's not
really any anime more than 2 seasons.
So there is an exception for Brotherhood. Brotherhood's really good.
That's my favorite anime of all time.
Yeah, Brotherhood's a good example. Yeah, but honestly, like it's not like the anime gets better with time.
That's
I
true.
don't know.
David's 10 Comanimements.
Oh, here we go.
One of these may have been swapped out. There's also the levels of drunk that you could be. There's another 10.
I have my own.
Let's break all of these down.
I have my own note.
Yeah, dog.
Damn. Okay.
It's about to be a book.
All right.
David's 10 Comanimements. Number 1, and feel free to justify as we go.
Fair enough.
Subs.
Okay. So
like it's
subtitle, sub over dub all day.
Yeah,
all day.
Self-explanatory. Number 2, no live action adaptations.
Happens quite often, man.
I think this was inspired by us trying to watch the Cowboy Bebop adaptation that came out recently.
Oh man, I wanted it to be so good, so bad.
He had no hope, and he was right.
I have no hope in a lot of things.
Number 3, no shows more than 2 seasons unless it's Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Number 4, no CG main characters, computer-generated main characters, unless it's Goblin Slayer.
A lot of exceptions. Okay.
Number 5,
Literally just one.
Yeah.
everything I don't like is trash.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ooh, wow. That's
Great.
a
It's a great
command.
rule. It's a solid one.
I trust your judgment.
Number 6, I don't have to watch something to dislike it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. If you dislike it, you don't. Okay.
Number 7, no watching through a series more than once a year. Because there's this habit that at least I know that I've gotten into of really wanting to indoctrinate somebody that hasn't seen something. But at a certain point, if you're just like pulling the ripcord every time you meet a new face, like it loses meaning. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I think you got it.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I think you captured the letter and the intent of the law very well.
Fantastic. I've been rehearsing this. 8. No asking for explanations if you jump on in the middle. Shit is too hard to explain.
Yeah.
Number 9. Do not buy merch. If you buy merch, you must keep it hidden in case we have company. Unless it's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't want to wear like you don't want to literally wear your passion of anime on your sleeve?
Absolutely not.
Why? Because you're wearing a plain white T-shirt right now, and that tells us nothing about you.
And
That's
Kirkland
fine.
brand sweatpants.
Yes.
Which are my favorite garment, and a very good friend got me those. I don't exactly remember what the occasion was.
It was the only Christmas present I got anybody this year.
Really? That's real.
You should
Feel special. You look like an NPC.
Who, me?
You like the
Okay,
way you're
so-
dressed right now. I
But
think you
here's
just-
the thing: the first thing you said to me is, this David's a mysterious guy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm going for, man.
Yeah, mysterious NPC.
Who
Cannot get any more.
is he? What's going on in that noggin of his?
Thank God this video.
I really don't. I've been talking to you for almost an hour now.
Okay,
I think I've learned less about you in this
I
hour.
have negative knowledge.
I thought I knew you from the few Zoom sessions, but like now you're just that much more ambiguous.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if there will ever be a time where I will get to know you, because after this it might be another 9 years.
Maybe. Well, now remember, it's 5.
Oh, 5.
You're
I'm
not.
sorry.
You're not grokking that. Man.
We did the game, the Post-it note game.
I keep forgetting about that.
At the Milk Lab.
At the
Facebook
milk
At the
tea
milk
lab.
reminding me.
Facebook remind me of shit with my girlfriend sometimes.
Fiance.
Yeah, fiance. It's
Oh.
hard to get adjusted to
No, I
saying
know.
that.
I know. I've heard.
Congratulations, though, man.
Thank
Best
you very
wishes.
much.
Best
It's-
wishes, man.
Dated her for about as long as haven't seen you.
Yeah, no,
So-
y'all.
No, you haven't.
About as long. I know.
Because it's
I
been
keep
5 years, not 9 to
I
10.
know, but let's stick to the bit of 9. 9 sounds more dramatic.
I like
the
the
bit.
I like
Keep
the
the
bit
bit.
of jumping on Christian when he doesn't know the
Keep
difference
the
between
bit.
9 years and 5 years.
I like calling someone dumb. It makes me happy.
Well,
like it when he's wrong.
Well, Christian, you're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for blessing me with your presence. That is very. I would say you're like a rare Pokemon. You're like a rare, like a let's say like a shiny Magikarp is what I'd call you.
I mean, buy me dinner first. I mean, Jesus, yes.
we did it. I want to say just real quick, you're doing a great job. We had a conversation last night where I told Christian he compliments our guests the same compliment over and over again, and you have yet to do it, and you're doing a great job because all the compliments you've been giving today. First time I've ever heard them. They're great.
Good-looking guests, and so he was just like, Christian.
Well, Christian
So
always like,
let that be a
really
lesson
good.
to all you other guests, you fucking uggos.
Yeah, I don't want you ugly muggles up on this podcast.
I mean, I've always had a no uggos rule. You know that.
That's true. That's why I spent expensive. I bought expensive lenses for these cameras because
They make us look better.
I don't want to see an ugly person in high detail.
No,
I'm kidding. Everyone's beautiful. But it's easy to obviously compliment you guys. I mean, Travis hugged me, called me a bag of rocks. Actually,
But in a way that was good.
You made this motherfucker's week with the bag of rocks comment.
Have you hugged him? It's insane.
All right.
He doesn't let me hug him.
It's like if you compressed Rami.
Okay. I can get behind
That's
that.
just
I can
for
get
us.
behind
Rami Malek. No,
Rami
I know who
Malek.
he is.
I would love to be
yeah,
compressed
yeah,
Rami Malek.
yeah.
The guy that's already 5'8".
Gotta change your teeth a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's like
but
if Rami Malek was like 4'9".
Because I'm a 4'9".
We all know. I can't see your legs.
If I was a compressed Rami Malek, I would look like a bag of rocks.
Yes.
It's basically
if
your.
we took the car crushing cube.
Rocky Malek. is what you're gonna do.
That's something I would love to see.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen. You don't pay many compliments.
Who, me?
Whoa!
Yeah, like he
Nah,
doesn't.
I don't.
No.
No.
Nothing's worth it, huh? Nothing's good enough to merit a compliment, or
Yeah. I mean, I like you.
who are you talking to?
What do you like about him?
What do I like about?
Yeah,
him,
what do you like?
man?
What do you like?
Man,
What do you
this
like?
guy is.
Oh, you're blushing.
So yeah, no, I mean, I gotta do what? It's such a long list. I mean, this guy.
Yeah,
what's
what's number one?
He's got the gumption to drive all the way down here to SoCal, and then all the way from Studio City to LAX.
You're complimenting the necessary actions that had to be made.
Well,
to
now
do
here's
this
the
podcast.
thing: whether or not they're necessary isn't what I'm complimenting. But
And also, he didn't do either of those things. I drove.
He drove.
So what we like about you, Alex?
Alex,
I had the gumption to drive down here from Studio City and from the Bay.
Alex, what did Christian do to help you do this? I mean,
He finances my entire life. For about the last 5 years, he's financed everything in my life.
I'm almost his pimp.
I really appreciate you financing Alex, Christian. That is a really excellent thing to do. I don't think
Your body language
For pennies a day, he can take care of me.
shows
piling
the
on.
amount of difficulty.
It's physically hurting
This
you,
is
isn't
taking-
it?
I mean, it looks like you're staring into the sun when you look at me.
Well, I
Because
remember
He doesn't have
so
contact.
often.
I don't have my contact lenses.
So it's just figuing out where to gesture. Is
yeah,
a
no,
feeling
I
to
mean,
itself.
I got it pretty much down. But I mean, I think you're doing really good work, and I think that.
There we go. Oh, there we go. We did
thank
it.
you.
You got it.
Wow.
There you go.
You
That's
did
actually
it.
a good compliment.
All right, cool.
did it.
We
Appreciate
got- see, so you're wrong. I mean,
look relieved.
I am able.
Now
to
you tell me you
compliment
drove
people.
all the way to LAX, didn't get on an airplane to get this guy to pay you a compliment. Fix your priorities.
I know, dude. Honestly, a compliment from you is very rare. I mean, because our interactions prior to this have only been like through Zoom and very.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, very. You have like, and you zoom in with like 180p quality.
Smears the camera with Vaseline just
Yeah, and so this is the most.
How did you know that?
to. I do the same.
Okay. A fellow vast zoomer, of course.
I love Vaseline.
Oh yeah.
You're just an interesting amalgamation of like different things that I've never seen in another human.
Well, I really appreciate you trying to take the time to unlock it for yourself. I feel like I'm getting a lot of
Oh yeah,
that.
this isn't for anybody but Christian. Like,
Yeah, no, this is
where
all
do I put
ruse.
David in my?
Yeah, I mean, like when I'm gonna write the description for this episode, I'm thinking about like what to put like David as. You know, like yeah,
put this emoji.
because like I'll be able to like I know Travis and what he does, and so like I'll be able to say like improviser. Podcast producer and like like
4-time Academy
musician,
Award winner.
you know, all that stuff. But then like and David Michmerhuizen.
all for Dunkirk.
I'm just trying to.
May I help? Maybe I can be some assistance here. Let me pitch David.
All right.
Ooh, I love this.
Oh, this is a cool game.
David Michmerhuizen, 8'11",
You are a tall motherfucker.
Shit.
pride of Walnut Creek, California. Awani Court.
Don't tell them my mama's address.
328 Smith Drive.
Pride of Walnut Creek, California. Indian Valley Elementary School. One of the funniest.
Wow.
Oh.
Look at the pregnant pause prior was nice.
Most thoughtful.
Okay.
Deceptively caring.
That's a good way to put it.
And
You being fed by this?
He's loving it.
creatively deep individuals I've ever had the pleasure of meeting.
There.
Wow.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, no problem.
That was
No
beautiful.
problem.
You guys do have an interesting chemistry. I mean, because for being two pretty different individuals, like the way you guys do banter with each other seems like it's fun. It's fun.
That's why we moved down. Look, I asked this guy. He was in Japan. He was teaching English. He was not here. And I mean, neither was I. I was in the Bay Area. But I said, hey, you want to move to LA? And he just goes, yeah. You know,
Wow. It was that impulsive?
I mean, to an extent. We'd been writing some sketch ideas back and forth, figuring out. We were both, I think, in the stage of like, all right, what are we gonna do? And we, you know, he takes this huge leap of faith because, like, you knew Esther as well through theater, and so did I. But like, actually, I've never asked, what was that thought process for you like when I was like, want to move to LA? Or had you already been considering it? Like, can you take me to that moment? I don't know this.
You know, my contract was up.
In Japan.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, it made sense. It was just like, yeah, I can move somewhere else. You know, I kind of gotten what I wanted where I was at, and so I was like, all right, next thing, load it up, and
Wow.
seemed correct.
I like to think that it has been too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard to like.
I haven't moved since.
And like, look, we both moved into the same garage.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It had to have. It's been.
We had to crash in a garage that. Well, there was the first garage, and then there's this like other garage we had to crash in, where it was like sleeping on a couch, and we had to share it with like a 1960s Chevy Bel Air that took up like most of the garage.
Oh my fucking!
And if I understand right, those cars don't do dishes and help at all with the maintenance around the house.
No, they just are big.
Yeah, they're just big.
They
and
just
like
exist in that garage.
yeah, so that was like a period of time.
No, and it's just like, you know, if I'm to be real about it, I would have come down regardless, but having somebody there who was not only down for whatever, but just actively contributing to like the idea of what is LA going to be, what are the goals, you know, because I had all these, I was dragging them here and we're going to go to Hollywood for the show, we're going to see that stuff, and the first time that we had a kernel of an idea for something like substantial as a product, he did all the work. It was great.
Oh wow.
Well, there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah,
as far as that's concerned. But,
the third day we drove here, or the third day, sorry, we lived here. We were going to that improv class that we talked about. We'd both signed up for the same UCB 101 class, and it was an intensive, so it took place over 2 weeks. Whereas usually the course is like 8 weeks, once a week. And the third day, we're like, we live so goddamn far away. And we're like, we got to find something else to do our time with. And between the two of us, we came up with an idea for an animated show that then like was the defining characteristic of the next like 2 years of our life. And like, I cannot, you know, really express the gratitude for how much of the heavy lifting this guy did in developing and writing this world and show for a thing. And like, you can say it's a creative exercise. We're also learning how to be in LA at the time. A lot of this was like this really cool experience of like having almost a second college that existed, you know, in the context of the entertainment industry. And just through sheer luck, you know, him finding the time to develop these ideas and me working in a few spots where I ended up meeting like a couple of people that led to a couple of people that led to a couple of people. Got to the point where like within a year and a half, and I'm going to brag about this, within like, I don't know, by the end of our second year there, we had like a legit development meeting at like a small studio somewhere in Burbank.
Fuck yeah.
And just the unmitigated success, the feeling that doors would never stop flying open. Now, granted, the world shut down and everything got shitty, but like,
The door shut pretty hard.
it's you know, if nothing were to ever happen ever from this point on, I'm like, damn, that was still a rousing success just on a personal level, large in part to me, thanks to this guy.
Well, I mean, I'm the sort of person like when I have a creative idea, like it'll just have to go through different mediums until it finally gets made, even if it like is just like a manga or something. Like it's not gonna just like sit cerebrally forever. Like it's gonna rear its ugly head at some point, you know.
Mm-hmm. Which has been a huge lesson for me in just patience, because it's, you know, I think as improvisers, when we have an idea, we want it to happen.
Absolutely,
like literally, and that's been the fun part about this. Is something that I feel about kind of improv in general, because I think around the time we moved here, even outside of what was to come with COVID, we were on like the edge of a bubble. You know, I think over the past decade, through largely the success of the first or second wave of improvisers to come through UCB, Groundling, stuff like that, and like the advent of like largely improvised single cam comedies like Parks and Rec, The Office to an extent, even Community.
Sure.
Like all these actors had made it big, and their background was heavy in improv. So every casting director, every agent was like, you got to take improv classes. You got to go here, you got to go there, you got to get this on your resume.
Also, the writers are on strike, so I mean,
yeah,
if we could fly with a 3-page screenplay, that would be really good.
Just fill it up with improv.
I'm trying to just write down something on a napkin, and we'll make the episode. Yeah. And it led to, you hear these wild success stories of like, you know, you have these rooms like Key and Peele or Brooklyn Nine-Nine where it's UCB people top down, and like the artistic director is like the head writer of that room, and it's just all these house team people, and it creates this like Mount Olympus like sort of structure that has a path that you can see how you get there. However, you know, everything has its natural end, and there was a burst of the improv bubble even before COVID started, when all of a sudden everybody, particularly speaking at the Upright Citizens Brigade, recognized that having 4 actors run a company is like not a super sick idea in terms of long-term financial stability, and the whole thing went completely tits up, and then the world shut down, and then it really went bad. And it was a massive education to me. And not that I feel lied to, not that I feel like I'm really happy that I spent the time there that I did. I ended up doing the work study program at UCB for like a year, and just, you know, hustling from my job in Marina Del Rey to there every Friday to like tech for pretty okay to sometimes good to often bad sketch and improv shows. But this feeling that like, oh, this was never it. And like, duh, it's improv.
Sure,
but there was, I think, this idea that it was this never dry vein of potential success. But what I took away was it's not in and of itself viable as a product. And there's something completely different between like an art form and a product and like a job and a passion, whatever. But it's like, oh yeah, of course you can't build a like financial infrastructure around an art form in which the content inherently is intangible. It does not exist. As soon as an improv show ends, that's the last anyone hears about it, unless someone writes it as a sketch. And like, I think there was this, not like a rude awakening, but at least it seemed to me, it just kind of the bottom fell out. And it's like, oh yeah, this was never the means to the end. It's just a skill you develop, and then you still have to do the work to, it wasn't as much of like a track, or it was until it wasn't. And then, you know, just like Roar, it falls apart. They have to build something else.
Now it's a Joker or something.
Yeah.
So yeah. Improv,
that's incredible.
Improv is not a lie, but it's not real.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely. And I think what it did instill for a lot of us was hope. I mean, when you guys came here, right? Like that was something to do that you guys loved, and it's still, improv can still bring you places here that the Bay Area could never bring to you.
Absolutely.
It's a required skill on your resume now. So if you have like, if your listeners are actor types or like people who want to get in the industry, it's actually very serious that if you like try to get an agent, you have to have improv chops demonstrated on your resume somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially if you're looking to get into comedy.
It used to be that's like the pipeline though, is like the idea with UCB is if you participated in the hierarchy enough, like you would meet the right people that you need to meet, right? Like Broad City and whatever.
Yeah,
it's just,
literally.
And so like one wonders what will happen now if we don't have a UCB feeding thing. It's just all going to be Second City people.
It's like this Fallout New Vegas feel of all of a sudden throughout Los Angeles as the world sort of reopens again and the mammals crawl out from the caves they hid when the meteor hit. Like you have these former artistic directors, instructors, and house team members doing bar improv again. And it's like weird.
That's weird.
And all these instructors have started their own Zoom schools or disparate workshops around the city. and it really does kind of feel like an AD. We'll see, because everything's just coming back, but like UCB as the infrastructure was just sold to, which is really unfortunate. They tried very hard to, I say they, but a group of, long-term improvisers there tried really hard to become a nonprofit and address a lot of the systemic like racism and sexism and just general like gatekeeping that had been rampant throughout the improv community for decades. And they got really close. And then not at the last minute, but eventually after it all kind of, fizzled out, UCB gets sold to the investment arm of, I think, what eventually ends up being like the company that owns the Los Angeles Dodgers. Like there's some investment arm that bought the theater and plans to make it an inclusive space, but it's like this idea that like, oh yeah, you cannot, it's inspiring because at the end of the day, it is about the people and about what you're doing. You can't look to the infrastructure and the pipeline to be the current which whisks you towards your idea of success. Mm-hmm. You have to make that for yourself by making stuff.
Shit.
Yeah. I think in a time right now, though, it is make it yourself, though. I think we have that opportunity with so many things, with having technology and software and things like that.
You guys are doing it.
We're
trying to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I've spoken about this before. I mean, we're so used to, being improvisers and having done live shows. You get that immediate gratification of a roar of laughter after you say it, right? Yeah. And especially with something that is so immediate and on the spot like improv, we are conditioned as... our ego gets fed with that instant gratification. Here, this is a very delayed response, right? I have to go through and edit this in post, and I put it out, and then like people, now it's just like, hey, great episode. Really loved David Michmerhuizen and Travis, man. Very interesting people. But like, and then I'll be like, fuck, okay, that's a great response. And it's just harder work for that same dopamine rush that we all got addicted to as kids that performed, right?
Yeah.
And I miss live improv so much, and talking to you guys about it and what it was to us and what it is down here and learning about what it was down here brings that feeling back. And I just wish we could all do it again. And
well, buddy, I'm going to grant your wish right now.
Okay.
We're going to do an improv scene.
Alex has got something going on.
Yeah, Alex, let's do an improv scene, buddy. That'll bring your dreams come true.
Alex has got a plan.
I'm a man with an idea, and that's about all I ever have.
It was right there.
If it wasn't for Christian, I would never succeed.
Oh,
damn! Wow.
Now that was a good pitch. Why didn't my pitch be like that?
I'm sorry. I know.
Straight to the point. It was like
I choked on my yerba. That was so good.
Yeah, you'll choke on something.
Got that yerba throat.
Anyways, you want to do a thingamabobby, or you want to?
No, let's just get into it. So, you guys have any questions before we jump in? It's just
what's improv?
Free fucking.
I was just gonna say, do you want us to tell you more?
All right, so.
Okay, hang on. Let me wipe my face.
Okay,
here.
we're doing suggestions. What do we got?
Not even a suggestion, dude. Just go cold open straight into it. No rules. It doesn't have to go on super long. It does, or it could be. If we're having the time of our lives, then we'll just stretch it.
All right.
In a whole play.
It'll be its own episode.
Honestly,
I'm feeling
not a bad idea.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, highly irrelevant. We'll add like fake clapping sounds and stuff.
Do that in post. Yeah.
Wow, so you can do that?
Yeah. I gotta get that dopamine.
Literally took us 2 years to figure it. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't have highly relevant in the beginning. Okay, here we go, guys.
Hey.
I guess I'm starting the meeting.
Yeah,
now.
You are.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the first inaugural meeting of the Fat Boys Club.
Yeah. Right.
It's the PHAT. P for Paul, H for Hamad, A for Ansel, and T for Tyrone.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we went with the NSYNC route and just took a letter from all of our names and just made it into the group name.
Oh my God.
Wait, is that how NSYNC got their name?
Yeah, that is.
Who's started with a Y?
Yeah.
Not started with a Y, but I think the N from NSYNC was the last letter from Justin.
But there's a Y in NSYNC.
Well, let's break it down.
Okay, so there's
we'll get to the itinerary of the Fat Boys Club in a bit.
You know,
remember
but we have to break down the NSYNC.
This thing's very important. And what about the asterisk? Whose name ends in an asterisk?
That's just name decor.
It was Lance
Your
Bass.
story is full of holes.
Well, this guys,
Ansel, are you pulling this out of your ass?
No, this is something that I read online.
Are you pulling this out of your asterisk?
Hey,
you know I'm a huge NSYNC fan.
I know that you are.
If I hear one more idea out of Ansel's ass, I swear to God, I'm walking.
Put your pants on, Ansel.
This is the first inaugural meeting. Why are we already making this?
Why don't we do the meeting then? But we'll hang on.
All right, I'm sorry. You're right.
We'll come back to the NSYNC then because this is very important. I'm pretty riled up now.
Okay.
Number one on the agenda. What do we have here?
What about the Backstreet Boys? That wasn't a name initialism.
There were no.
No, and all those guys are from like uptown.
You would have need like 13 guys to be the Backstreet Boys.
B
Brian.
A C K S T
2 E's.
R E E T space B O Y 15.
15.
How many
guys.
were there?
It's a marching band. That's
5
a
of
straight up
them, I
marching
think,
band.
right? Guys, I didn't mean to derail the meeting, but it seems like we're very passionate about how these boy bands got their names.
Well, number 1 on the agenda was open discussion. So,
What was number 2?
closed discussion.
But now that we're on the topic, actually, Backstreet Boys, how did they get their name? And what does a backstreet mean?
I always assumed that Boys to Men had started very young.
And I actually believed that, too.
Is Boys to Men not a movie about puberty?
No, that's Bad Boys too.
Yes.
Or was it Boys in the Hood?
Oh no.
No, Boys in the Hood is a movie about circumcision.
Excuse me?
Wait.
Nice.
Let's break that down real quick. I don't know what kind of blockbuster you grew up with, but
Cockbuster. Didn't everybody go to Cockbuster?
I went to Cockbuster.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Busters.
They kick you in the balls as soon as you go in, though. Guys,
let's get back
to the
to
things
the
that are
itinerary.
important.
Yeah.
NSYNC.
Yes.
First member of NSYNC. Anybody want to give a guess?
Justin Timberlake.
Incorrect.
Nick Lachey.
Incorrect.
Darn.
Also, Nick Lachey was not in NSYNC. Nick Lachey was in 98 Degrees.
Show Joey Fatone.
Joey Fatone was the second member. The first member was actually
Lance.
Chris Kirkpatrick. Lance Bass was the last member.
Who's Chris Kirkpatrick?
Chris Kirkpatrick. He's the one that everybody forgets was on the team.
I
there we go.
certainly forgot about that.
He's
Not
the
a
one who
memorable
had
man.
like the dreads and the cool facial hair. He did the voice for Chip Skylark in Fairly Odd Parents.
That was
dude!
That was Chip?
That's Chip
I
Skylark.
thought that was Lance.
No. Chris Kirkpatrick, his number 1 recording song is My Shiny Teeth and Me.
Dude, Timmy Turner's dad was even into that guy.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah.
what a
Guy
heartthrob.
cleaned up.
Oh, man.
Just
Chris Kirkpatrick, my
Real
favorite.
quick, though, what determines to become the first member of the boy band? Doesn't the boy band just form and everyone is all initiated at once?
I
know where you're going with this, man. I know where you're going with this. What instrument do you play?
Are we going to start a band, guys?
I'm on accordion.
Okay, I'm gonna be playing. The marimba is my go-to.
Marimba.
Okay, so we're
You're
gonna
gonna dance.
That's
the
You're just gonna
merengue.
dance.
That's
You're
the
gonna-
merengue.
No, merengue is a type of pie.
That's just the.
No, that's meringue.
That's meringue.
Oh, god damn it.
I think it's interesting that we're going to start a boy band with our lead instruments so far being the accordion and the marimba.
Oh, I play a mean squeeze box.
And I hit the marimba. I play
Do you hit
marimba.
marimba? I don't even know what a marimba
You do.
It
a
is.
marimba
It's like a
is that-
xylophone.
It's like a gigantic xylophone. It's like
There
a
we go.
xylophone got too big.
Yeah, and you hold four
Mallets.
Yeah.
That's what I play.
I never understood how that worked, legitimately, how they were able to do that.
I
so
can
easily.
show you, actually. I was in drumline for a little bit, and I did not play well. So
We
they put
cannot
me-
have 2 marimba players.
Why
okay?
not?
It's ridiculous.
It's never worked.
You're gonna.
But
yeah.
I have been to some
Marimba
jazz
shows?
clubs where there's dueling pianos, and they say you can't have 2 pianos, but that's one hell of a show.
Who goes around saying that you can't have 2 pianos? Ice? What?
Some people say it.
The piano police. The piano police tell us all the time we can't have 2 pianos.
God damn it.
All right, now it's time for closed discussions.
Silence
All
me for
right.
you.
Fair enough.
We're going to get to the number 1 thing. We are out of money.
Oh.
Well, we never came into this. This is the first inaugural meeting, so we're just coming with what's in our pocket.
We're
budget
off,
on the
we're
venue.
off to a bad start.
Yeah, we really shouldn't have rented this 4-room
I have
apartment.
a question. What is the goal of this club? I really joined because I have difficulty making friends, and obviously the first thing I said out of my mouth created an altercation with what was your name again?
Hamad.
Hamad. Thank you.
Thanks, Ansel. Any more you want to add to that?
No, I just wanted to express my feelings, and I feel the tension in this.
Guys, I think we
Conference
should
room.
kick Ansel out of the group.
I'm still in the
We need a
room.
vowel, though.
Yeah. Or else you just be the PHT boys, which sounds like
A disease.
yes, it sounds like a disease or a ghetto fabulous rap group.
All right, well, number 4 is what are we...
With an accordion.
With an accordion. You really want to get this accordion? I mean, you could play
The
accordion.
accordion wanted me. Okay.
You don't pick the accordion life. The accordion life picks you.
He understands.
Cut to when
My father
Hamad
was a squeezer.
first played the accordion.
My old man was a squeezer. My granddad was a squeezer. And if I'm going to get this trained monkey on my side, I'm going to have to damn well become a squeezer too. God damn it, Charlie. Calm down. All right.
Son, are you practicing your accordion in there?
You're goddamn right, sir. Sir, I'm going to make you proud.
You're going to have to log in those hours, hun.
Yeah, Mom.
If you're going to be squeezers like us.
Yes, Mom. I'm going to become a squeezer like the best user. It's just difficult for me because I am so weak.
Hamad, it's in your name. Hamad Squeezy McSqueezyton.
Oh my God.
Cut back to the conference room. Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy story you just told us, Hamad.
I felt like I was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I have been gifted. I've been told I'm a gifted storyteller.
What happened to the monkey?
I've been told that I should actually
Suicide by cop.
Get into storytelling instead of accordion playing. But, yeah, Charlie went ahead and just, he was waving a banana around and a cop.
Blew his little monkey brains out.
Blew his fucking little, it was like Indiana Jones, just little soup dumplings lodged into that.
Soup dumplings.
Yeah. Soup dumplings.
Huh. Hamad, are you
That
okay?
sounds traumatic.
Oh, it's traumatic and delicious.
Patrick?
Paul.
Paul?
God, you're so
Paul.
bad at being in this group.
At least I know everybody's name.
Hey,
I'm trying. You have it on the docket.
It's the first meeting.
It's the first meeting. Let's cut me some slack, please.
Ansel, what's my name?
You're talking a lot for someone that don't know anything.
I'm trying
Isn't
to make
that what
friends
most
right
people
now.
do? Talk a lot when you don't know
All right,
anything.
I'm being confrontational. It's not fair. It's not
So
fair.
what is the goal of this to now create a boy band?
Charlie was confrontational.
I think it's going to turn into... Hey, can you stop crying over there?
No.
Cut to Charlie and Hamad.
Whoa.
Not that scene, no. About their chemistry together as straight performers.
God damn it! God damn it! I don't know what to do.
Come back.
What to do with you? Here, hold still. Here. Put this needle. Just tip the needle. It's just a needle. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just a needle. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Son, is everything all right in there?
It's fine, Dad. There's nothing going on up here. Don't come in.
Okay.
It's okay. It's
Did
just,
you log in your hours?
he's calming down. Oh, I'm logging in the hours.
Log in your hours.
I'm sorry.
I told you we shouldn't have gotten him that monkey.
Charlie's riding the white pony, Mom. It's okay. It's just we're just taking some hours on the white pony. You guys don't need to come in here.
Cut back to the boardroom.
Go back to the boardroom. Yeah, I mean, no one really asked for you to keep talking about Charlie, your monkey, but I guess no one's really pointing that out.
Sometimes I think I've still got the monkey on my back.
Save it for group.
This is group.
All right, but
This
you know
is
what?
the group. I'm in the group.
The fat group. Fat
fair.
club.
Oh, okay. No,
Fat
sorry.
Boys Club.
Fat Boys Club. Excuse me.
Fat Boys
I
Club.
can't even. I'm gonna.
So yeah, what I am curious though. What is the aim? What is are we trying to do a band?
I thought it was a therapy thing, and it's not I can't play the accordion. I can't talk about Charlie. I've got nothing.
We didn't realize Charlie was going to put you down this deep spiral of depression right now, though. We thought you were going to have fun with it.
I just got triggered. Is all. I'm sorry.
I thought I was just going to make friends, and it doesn't seem like it's happening here.
Ansel, I thought we said you're not allowed to talk anymore.
with
I
that
didn't
attitude.
understand that was an actual rule.
You are in free speech jail.
Have you ever?
What?
Dan-
Whoa. What's free speech jail?
He doesn't have free speech now.
I don't know if that's
For how
your
long? How do
decision
you-
in this
yeah.
room.
He's talking again.
Stop it.
It's my constitutional right for me to be able to speak.
Speech.
Well, the right's only guaranteed by the signing of a convention. So if we have a charter for this club that negates the First Amendment,
That's too much work, and that will now become what the
I'm
actual.
not in charge of the group. I'm just pointing at the facts.
I didn't bring any paperwork for that kind of stuff. The paperwork I have all has to do with your sexual history.
Look, if
This
you
is
want
all-
to legitimize
Ooh,
free
that
speech
sounds
jail.
fun. Yeah, no.
Cut to Ansel's life at home. Immediately after this meeting.
Hey, man. How's work?
I mean, it was like something that I was trying to make friends at this meeting, and it turned out the exact opposite outcome that I wanted. It didn't really make any friends.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Ansel. I know you've been really struggling to find friends since we moved to Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back tomorrow, but they've just robbed me of my free speech inside of that room.
Oh, well, it's good that it's finite, though, right? Because
Supposedly, but like, how am I gonna make friends? Cut to the second day of that meeting.
Go Packers.
Yes, indeed. Go Packers.
Go Pack Go, I think is.
Go Pack Go.
Welcome to the second inaugural meeting. Ansel, you have anything to say? No, you fucking don't. That's right. He's finally getting it, guys.
Well, no, hold on. It kind of looks like Ansel has something he wants to say.
Well, you get your 30 minutes of exercise outside once a day.
Is there any way you can let him out of free speech jail?
He gets exercise once a day.
Ansel, just...
I'm scared of the dark.
Huh.
Well, I mean, aren't we all?
So this is therapy.
So, yeah, I was gunning for therapy. I mean,
fuck the
only reason I came back.
You know what?
You call this an inaugural meeting. This is the second meeting. I thought we established.
The biannual. Can you lower your voice?
Ansel, okay, here's what I'd like to do. We need a charter.
Okay,
and I move that the first item on the charter is that free speech jail gets rebooted every new meeting so that it doesn't carry over.
That's good. Do you have anything to say, Ansel?
Well, he might, because if we
haven't signed the charter yet, though. So
well, let's take it to a vote, and obviously it's going to have to be a silent vote. I mean, there we go. But
Ansel, shut the fuck up.
This is why we need a charter. I mean, that's that.
Okay, so then let's go ahead and vote then.
Okay, all in favor for expiration date of 24 hours on free speech jail, raise your hands.
Aye. You're not in favor of that?
Okay. That was really weird for you,
raise your hand,
Ansel.
Sorry, guys.
We're doing this for you,
I
Ansel.
understand.
We all felt bad about how we treated you in the last meeting.
Don't make us regret getting rid of
I'm already in therapy.
My confidence level is dwelling deep down. It's just lower than it's ever been, so I don't really know what to do.
Just take a deep breath, and that's what we're here for at the Fat Boys Club.
I'm just gonna leave this group.
No!
Whoa!
I think we're done here.
But the charter.
Our fucking name's not gonna make sense now.
Yeah.
You guys could be the PHT boys, and I think you'll succeed without me.
We don't even know what we're doing yet.
I
Had all the ideas last group.
think the prime, and I got shut up for it.
That did happen.
Okay.
All right, word.
Real quick, I want to talk about how that first half of that improv scene was just still podcasting.
It was
We're
just us talking about it.
literally a Los Lomas type improv scene, right?
We obviously had a lot more podcasts left in us than we needed to exercise.
We're a lot more attuned to that wavelength right now than improv these days.
We hope to do this again. We'll be making this trip more frequently than not.
We'll be back next week.
Okay.
So if you guys are ready to record again.
I'll leave the table.
Yeah.
All right.
Baddies,
What am I going to do?
Yeah. Not do a podcast?
There you go.
You could follow us at ICBTB Podcast. Follow me at Christian Has Asthma. Follow this guy at Call_me_Jesus. And dude, enjoy the string of LA episodes that are going to be dropping after this. Guys, I love you guys. Well, you know, in the sense of like not having seen you in 9 years. I love you.
I get
5 years.
Yeah, you're doing it on purpose.
I mean,
He's learning.
All right, everyone say bye. We're out of here.
Adios.
Take it easy.
Goodbye.
Bye.
so long.
Can't be that bad, oh, it 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 can't be that bad.